Yeah, what's up, YouTube? As you know, bro, me and Matt be great, bro. We got beef, bro. We don't got beef, but we got beef. A couple weeks ago, he was talking shit about Ryan Williams, which was which was deserved. Which was deserved. I'm not gonna lie, he was making good points. As I as I said in that video, he was making good points. But I will say, he has came around. I thought the Alabama Dynasty was over. No, it ain't. Keep a checking. Let's go. Yo, I'm like, what the heck?
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, hope I've had a great Tuesday. Hope I've had a great start to your week. If not, hope this video can make it a little bit better. Man, oh man, we gotta talk about Alabama. Clap it up. Clap it up. To the Crimson Tide. Whew. It has been a heck of a comeback ever since that season opener loss to the Florida State Cinnamon Rolls. Woo.
Yeah, we know. Yeah, we know.
Different video for a different day. Don't even get me started on them. They have had a very tough fall from grace. I understand losing to Georgia Tech.
Which happens every single year, if I have to mention.
Miami, but how in the world do you lose to the Fighting Christmas Trees? Yes, Stanford Cardinals, they're the Christmas trees. Do y'all remember playing those old NCAA games where you could use the mascot? It was like NCAA 9, 10, 11, 12, the OG days, where you could do mascots versus mascots.
Mascots, you know.
Stanford, they always had the Christmas trees because I used them. That is completely besides the point. Getting back on track here, we got to talk about Alabama and what they've been doing the past.
Roll Tide.
First things first, and by the way, we're not doing no intro. None of that. I don't got time to waste. You don't got time to waste either. We're jumping straight into this. I said this in the video earlier today. I'll say it again. If I'm not as, I guess you'd say, amped up as normal, if I don't sound like my normal self, it's because I lost my voice. So I'm trying to keep it on the low and whatnot. I only get a certain amount of screams and yells per video, so I can't use them all up in one because we got some other videos we're going to be making today and all throughout the week. But like I was saying, let me show you this. For those of you who don't know, Alabama's made history. I'm not talking about one of those ESPN cherry pick stats where they're the first team to have 300 passing yards, 122 rushing. No. This is a real and legit stat. It's a great one at that. Alabama is the first team in SEC history to beat 4 straight ranked opponents in 4 straight weeks. They also did without a bye week. That is extremely impressive. And if you want to be
Nah,
really
for
nerdy and
real.
analytical about it, these weren't fringe top 25 teams. All these teams were ranked inside the top 16. As to when I'm making and filming this video, all of them are currently still ranked, and I believe Tennessee's the lowest ranked one, and that's at 17. The only reason they fell is because they just lost to Alabama. Goes on being said, great 4-game stretch there. I could hoot, holler, and hype this up for the next 3 to 4 minutes. I think you get the point. Here's why I'm showing you this, though, and it is the main reason I'm making this video. I now feel like
This is an insane run, bro. I can't even. Oh my goodness, Roll Tide.
What we're about to get into. And if you think I'm about to sit up here and talk about how everybody thought Alabama was barely going to make a bowl game after the Florida State game, no. That's not what I'm here to talk about. What I'm here to talk about is when Nick Saban retired. I don't know if y'all remember this. We're going to have some OGs watching. You do. Do y'all remember those videos? It seemed like we was waking up every single morning, making the coffee, getting up in the man cave and talking about how another 5-star recruit just decommitted from Alabama, or Julian saying he transferred, Caleb Downs transfer. All of our starters, they were leaving left and right. Maybe some of y'all remember that. I do, because I could do nothing but sit back and watch because, ironically enough, right when Saban retired in northern Alabama, where I currently reside at and where I was residing at the time, we got snowed in. We pretty much got a blizzard. Granted, it wasn't a real blizzard, but you get what I'm saying. It was a blizzard for northern Alabama. We got 8 to 10 inches, and that's a lot down here. Give you some context and perspective, we don't have the equipment like you guys up north have. So if it snows more than, I'd say, 2 or 3 inches,
we're cooked. We are cooked.
3 to 4 days. You can't go anywhere. And even if you do have a monster truck and you want to go somewhere, it doesn't matter. Nothing's going to be open, so it's pointless. When it snows in northern Alabama, it doesn't snow in Tuscaloosa much. I think they get like half an inch a year. But in northern Alabama,
it did snow though. It did snow.
Common city shuts down. I remember all that vividly. But you know what I also remember? All you guys in the comment section saying, Matt, Alabama is going to return to the 8-4, 7-5. Some people were even saying 6-6, 5-7 days. The Mike Shula era, it's coming back. Mike Shula, don't get me started. If you know, you know. It was common.
Chill.
Get ready for the Shula days. Matt, get ready for 5-7, 6-6. And what did I tell you guys? Y'all know, we are never, when I say we, I'm talking about Alabama, returning, especially to 5-7 days. But Alabama will never lose more than 6 games ever again. That's impossible. This isn't Nebraska where you had a good 20, 30-year run and comes to an end. No, it's Alabama. You're talking about the cream of the crop. It just gets
Nah,
old.
for real.
The reason Nebraska fell off is because of a location thing. Recruits don't want to go to Nebraska. Why? Because it's cold. If you're wondering why I assume that, quote unquote, I'm not assuming. I talk to these recruits on an everyday basis. I already know what Timothy and Bobby run to the comment section and say, well, Matt, why would anyone want to go to Tuscaloosa, Alabama? There's nothing to do down there besides play football. You know what there is down there, though? Heat. There's warmth. Players don't like being in the cold. Or if you're at Ohio State. And that's also a different conversation for a different day. Recruits don't mind being in Alabama. You're pretty close to Florida. You're close to Atlanta, Nashville. Not that big of a deal. But Nebraska? Come on, man. You're not close to anything.
They're growing the cornfields. They're called the Corn Huskers. All you see is corn every day. You don't want to see that every day.
And I could dig my way through the videos and find comments where people are saying, Matt, y'all are going 7-5. It's eventually going to happen. But y'all remember it. It wasn't too long ago. It was laughable to me back then, and it's laughable now. And I'm not a guy that's going to try to convince you. What I tell all of you, sit back and watch. It won't happen. The problem is people have Bama fatigue. You saw with Nick Saban every other year. Anytime Alabama lost a game, people are running to ESPN, they're running to Twitter saying, hey, is this it? Maybe old St. Nick doesn't have any juice left in the tank. Maybe is this the start to the end of the dynasty? They were just
They're just
that
haters.
Alabama would fall off.
Haters.
That 2-week stretch in 2015 from the Ole Miss game to the Georgia game. When Alabama lost to Ole Miss, I ain't got to look it up. I remember like it was yesterday. Chad Kelly was the quarterback. They had that crazy jump ball pass where our guy battered up and their receiver just fell in his arms. He ran it in. Ole Miss won 43-37. That was also the Cooper Bateman game. See, you have all these people, and you know, y'all know I'm not a bandwagon or whatnot, but you still got people on Twitter that tweet me, Matt, you're a bandwagon. Really? Would a bandwagon Alabama fan even know the name of Cooper Bateman? Get out of here, man. Alabama fans don't even know who I'm talking about. But anyways, he started that game before Jacob Coker. See, Coker didn't win the job. Bateman, pretty much long story short, he was awful in the game. Coker came in and he revived the offense, revamped it. We put up 37 points. Defense just couldn't get a stop. We gave up 43. We also had, without looking up, I remember it, not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, but 5 turnovers in that game. And what did every analyst and their mama say? The dynasty's over. Alabama's going to Georgia next week. It was the first time, I think, since Nick Saban's first year, Alabama was not favored in a game. It was raining crazy, and Alabama beat the snot out of Georgia.
Beat the
snot.
Belt.
Look at my computer here. It's 2025. 2015 was 10 years ago. Whew. Time flies, man. Time flies. I can't believe that. Anyways, back on track here. The reason I share that with you is this isn't my first rodeo as a Bama fan. 10 years ago, I had all these nerds. I had all these Timothy and Bobbies. Heck, probably you watching this video trying to convince me, or more so, if you're trying to convince yourself, don't put your insecurities on me, brother, that the Alabama dynasty is starting to fall off. And I don't
Hey now, say now.
Alabama's been at the top of college football the last 20 years. I'd probably be a little bit frustrated too. It is annoying. You're hoping Alabama's going to fall off. And it's nothing more, nothing less than Bama fatigue. You're sick and tired of it, but I said it when Saban retired, when Julian Sain left and Cale Downs had to go to Ohio State. I'll say it again. If you think Alabama's going to return to the 6-6, 7-5 days, you're delusional. You have no idea what you're talking about. You sound dumb. And the thing is, it doesn't matter who the head coach is, whether it's DeBoer or whoever. They just have too much talent to perform that bad. Even if the coaches intentionally call bad plays, the talent's going to overcome it. And there were plenty of moments after 2015 where people tried to start this, the Alabama dynasty, they're starting to fall off. But the 2015 one, that's the most memorable one to me because that was the game where everybody was picking Georgia and everybody was so sure that Bama, with all the question marks at the quarterback position, it was over with. It was donezo. And what did Nick Saban do? Won a couple championships after that, and here we are. Fast forward time into 2025, people are still doing the same thing. It's nonsense. It's ludicrous.
Crazy. Crazy.
Down on it. Yeah, Alabama looked awful in the game, but I never once stated, Alabama's going to start, going 6-6, 7-5 again. They're barely going to make a bowl game. Never said that. I did state after that game they should be ranked in the top 25, and I still believe that because if you're going off of a one-game sample size, and that's all we had, they didn't look like a top 25 team. But there were so many people that were so sure that Alabama, after the Florida State game, was barely going to win 7 or 8 games this year. They were going to really struggle, and this was for the, 20th time in the last 10 years, the quote-unquote start to the downfall of Alabama. Same year, different story. This happens every year. If you're a Bama fan, you know how I feel. You know what I'm talking about. And that's why winning feels so good as a Bama fan. Do you know why? Because last week, do you know who we beat? Your casual fan's going to say, yeah, Matt, you beat Tennessee. No, we didn't. No, we didn't. We beat the country. Everyone's
We
rooting for
did.
us to fail. Everyone. That's
Exactly.
why winning feels so good. Even if it is
Facts.
Vanderbilt or South Carolina.
That's why when Bama beats teams, they don't take down the goalposts. Anybody beats Bama, they rush the field, take down the goalposts, do this in the third. Bama beats somebody, that's just regular.
Because everyone's rooting against us. We didn't just beat Vanderbilt, we beat the rest of the country. Everyone wants us to lose, everyone wants us to fail. That's why winning feels so good, and that's why losing hurts so bad. When we lose to Tennessee, for example, we don't just lose to Tennessee. We lose to Auburn fans, we lose to Georgia fans, Ohio State fans, Michigan fans, etc., etc. You get the point. And I wouldn't go
Yeah.
as far as saying I'm a smart aleck, but I am going to be when I say this. To all the haters out there, let me ask you a question. I thought the dynasty was over. What is your rebuttal? I would love to hear it. I thought it was over. You told me a couple years ago in the man cave when I was snowed in it was over.
Hey.
Denial. I remember people saying,
Hey.
oh yeah, Matt, because I was laughing about it. You're like, oh yeah, he's in phase 2. He's in denial. Eventually he'll be in phase 3. Well, what phase am I in now?
Hey.
I'm telling you.
Hey.
We're being delusional. You were the one losing your mind. Not me. It was you. You had to come to terms with reality.
What them black guys were saying, clock it. Clock it. Clock it.
And your lifetime. In the history of this channel, Bama's not going anywhere. You know what I think would make all of you feel better, all the Bama haters, if you wrote in the comment section of this video, hey Matt, you're right. I have Bama fatigue and I hate Alabama. I hope they fall off. I would respect that a little bit more. Because you're not saying Alabama is going to fall off. You're saying, I hope they fall off. Because that's what you want. It's pretty funny. I'll share this with y'all. And this will be the last thing I say before we end off the video. I go to Publix every single day, and I ran into a Tennessee fan, and he said, Matt, that was a good game. I said, yeah, man, that was a great game. I thought Alabama looked good. He said, yeah, but Alabama got lucky, man. Tennessee, if they would have done this, I'm like, hold on. I didn't know you could win by 17 and get lucky.
You ain't get
You see what I'm
lucky.
saying? It's always something.
Like, come on.
Alabama won by
It's
17 and they got lucky. Shaking my head. There's always going to be something. Alabama beats Vanderbilt, everybody say, oh, well, Pavia doesn't turn the ball. You can't win if you're Alabama. You can't. Alabama never gets credit. They get criticized, but they never get credit. Pay attention to it. Let me know your thoughts down below. But they're over there.
Hey, man, they hate us because they ain't us. Make it make sense. Hey, thanks, Matt. W video.